Hi horse bosses, welcome to week 2, train your own barrel horse. This is an abdominal binder I found that I put on to help support my ribs while we go through this week of challenge. So this is day 1, we just kind of loped through the barrels. I never have really loped through the barrels with split reins before, so I was a little bit lost and I had a lot of reins in my hands, but Gigi did really well. This is day 2 where we worked on gearing down around the barrels. Gigi did really well. She actually responds really well when I sit down, and then she would go to a walk around the barrels, and when I set up in my stirrups and picked up the reins, she would move out, and then again she would sit down. We went through this a few times and she did really well each time. I was super proud with her and she did really well and didn't jostle me around too much. The last time on day 2 here, I was feeling pretty confident, so I decided that we would go ahead and try to canter up to the barrels and then gear down to a trot around it. Gigi responded very well. She picked up her leads and she did really well. I was able to sit pretty nice on her and she was able to complete her turns and pick up the correct leads when she moved out. So I was pretty happy with just working with this about 4 times, how well she did. We did go around the third barrel a couple times and all of the little exercises, just because I know in our normal pattern she goes wide and takes a step out on that third barrel, so I was trying to work on that. So day 3 was a bit muddy. We stayed at home, so I set up a few cones. I worked on Gigi standing still so that I could get on her. This is some stuff that we worked on actually from Fundamentals 1. She did pretty good. I kind of got after her just a little bit, but then I realized later on watching the video that the mud was pretty up to her ankles and she was actually just trying to get her footing. So we actually did do a few little exercises. We worked on backing up, collected. This time when I worked her outside of the arena, I did not have a tie down on her. I just had the regular snaffle on her. So we went around the cones and then we did some figure eights with reverse arcs around the other side of the figure eights. A couple of times it did get a little bit deep and she sunk, so we kind of modified that and went a little bit around that. And then we also did some side passing between the cones, and then we did some backing up in between the cones. And then I also had her stand and be still so that I could get on and off. So we actually did quite a bit of work. This isn't a very long video. We started to get rained on a little bit, but this was our fun day outside of the arena, where we tried to make it a little bit harder work than working on the barrel pattern. I also added in a little bit of the forward moving rollback and some circles. I wasn't quite sure if Gigi would remember how to do this or not, because it's been at least a few weeks or so since we've done it, but I was pretty surprised that she did learn the hoe and the turn back, and she did learn how to move off of leg pressure and to turn around and do her forward moving rollback even without the fence. So I was pretty happy with some of the stuff that she remembered from fundamentals 1 and 2. So this is me and Gigi on day 4. This is where we slowed down and worked on overturning the barrels. We kind of trotted up to the barrels and then we sat deep and then we did the overturn of the barrels. The first time I did it, we kind of really did the overturn of the barrels, but I realized that it was pretty sore on my left side. That's where my fractured ribs are. So we did the first time, we kind of really did the pattern exactly how Fallon showed us how to do it, where we overturn the barrels and turn facing the other way. And then the next 3 or 4 times that I went through, I went ahead and had Gigi do 2 circles around each barrel, just a little bit of an overturning it, but also it was easier with me, especially on the left side where I have the fractured ribs, just to get her to do that instead of making that sudden jerky stop. She seemed to do really well and respond really well to everything I was asking her to do, and I was super impressed and felt really confident riding her that I was going to be okay and nothing was going to get hurt worse than it was. This last time on day 4, I decided I would let her kind of lope up to the barrels and then sit deep and then have her overturn the barrels at a trot. I kind of did it both directions, just to make sure that she was really retaining what I was asking for and that she was really responding to my body. And I was super happy to feel that as soon as I sat back just a little bit, she totally would rate down and respond. Again, we are circling the third barrel just a couple times each time, just because that is our problem barrel that we are working with. So both Gigi and I were breathing a little bit hard after this little bit of a lope home. She handled it really well, but I could really tell that it was kind of putting some pressure on my ribs. So I didn't want to really end on that kind of note. So I went ahead and we walked through the pattern one more time, really overturning the barrels, keeping her at a walk, and just kind of keeping it calm and collected. I'm super proud of this mare. She's usually, or she has been in the past, super hot, fire-breathing dragon, not walking, not paying attention. As soon as you walk into the alleyway and there's barrels there, she's all business, whether you're ready to hang on or not. And since she's had her colt and since we've gone through fundamentals 1 and 2, I'm just super impressed with what a different animal she is and how easy she is to control and how much she listens to me and waits for me, and just how much we've become a team together. It's pretty impressive. This little short video isn't going to tell you all the changes that we've had, but I can just tell you this is 180% different animal than when I started in March. So I'm pretty happy with how she can calm back down and walk through the pattern. We did finish and walk over to the first barrel. I am needing a little bit of help getting on and off my horse just because of my ribs. So we kind of just stopped there, and then my husband came out and helped me uncinch her and walk her back to the trailer. This is day number 5, where we went ahead and pushed a little bit faster than a lope through the pattern. Gigi did fabulous. I'm not really used to running her in split reins again, so I felt like I had a lot of reins kind of all over the place. I was a little bit concerned about how I might deal with this and how she might deal with it, but she did fabulous. And look at that third barrel, it was totally spot on. So then we went ahead and finished day 5 with 4 trot walkthroughs of the pattern, where we trotted between the barrels and walked around the barrels at our gear down points. And Gigi did really well, and I felt like we were really connecting, and I was super happy with the progress we're making. And again, I still am having her do the 2 circles around the third barrel just to reinforce that turn there. I'm really working on using my outside leg as we come off the third barrel to tighten up that turn and help her finish it. And I'm hoping that it comes through into our barrel runs. And again, on the fourth kind of run through there, I did let her do a little bit of a canter and then break her down to a trot at the gear points. She did really well. She picked up her leads. She moved pretty smooth. And look at that third. I'm so proud of her. I can't wait till we're able to enter and make a run and see how this all plays out. And of course, since I did do a canter, I had to bring her back down to a trot and then a walk, and then make sure that she knew her rate points. And she did really well. She's just being a superstar today. I felt like today, day 5, was a big win for us, and it really boosted my confidence and something that I really needed, especially after the wreck I had last week and having to deal with fractured ribs that I've never had to deal with before. So I really did need this day 5 to just, you know, make me feel like I was having a few small wins. So no one would go trail riding with us today because it was super muddy, and that's coming. So we decided we would try a water obstacle. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl, Gigi. Ooh. Turn around. Okay, so that's what we just went through. So we're gonna do it one more time. Come on, Gigi. Oh, you're such a good girl. Good girl, Gigi. Good girl. So that's the water that we went through. So this was our fun day. All right, good girl, Gigi. That's Ringo. He's a mascot. All right, Gigi, let's go by our steps so I can get off. Easy, mama. I know it's muddy. Ooh. Okay, one more step. Oh, good girl. Okay, just stand. Show everybody how good you're doing. Okay, just stand. Good girl. This is Gigi. That's my step. This is Gigi, fire breathing dragon. This is me getting off with fractured ribs very slowly. There's me getting my foot out kind of slowly. Okay, maybe not. And that's me getting off. And that's my princess, who wouldn't stand for me to get on at the beginning of Fundamentals 1. Now she lets me get on and off with my little stool because my ribs are fractured. And then she'll stand there until I tell her to come. Day 7, Gigi got trimmed up and got sprayed off, just in time for her to roll and play in the mud. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys next week. Bye.